You're in a meeting. Everyone's talking over each other, trying to prove they're the smartest person in the room. But there's one person who barely says a word. They're just listening, observing. And when they finally speak, the entire room goes silent. We've been taught that intelligence is loud. It's quick answers, big words, and confident declarations. But what if I told you that the most intelligent people in the room are often the quietest? The truth is, truly intelligent people don't need to announce their intelligence. They demonstrate it through subtle behaviors. And here's the fascinating part. These aren't just personality traits. They're backed by psychological research and neuroscience. Today, we're breaking down 7 silent signs of intelligence that have nothing to do with IQ scores and everything to do with how someone processes the world. If you've ever felt like you don't fit the stereotype of smart because you're not the loudest voice in the room, this video is for you. Because real intelligence, it's often found in the silence between the words. Let's dive into the 7 behaviors that genuinely intelligent people practice every single day, often without even realizing it. The first sign is active listening. But this isn't just hearing words. It's fully processing what someone is saying before formulating a response. Research from Harvard Business Review shows that only 10% of people are naturally skilled listeners. Intelligent people resist the urge to interrupt, plan their response while someone's talking, or make it about themselves. Here's the key. They listen to understand, not to reply. You'll notice them asking follow-up questions that show they absorbed every detail. Psychology tells us this behavior stems from high cognitive flexibility, the ability to set aside your own perspective to truly grasp someone else's. It's mentally demanding, which is why so few people do it well. But when you experience it, you know you're talking to someone truly intelligent. Intelligent people don't fear silence, they embrace it. When there's a pause in conversation, most people rush to fill it with words, any words. But research from the University of Michigan shows silence activates the brain's default mode network, the same neural system responsible for deep thinking, creativity, and self-reflection. Watch an intelligent person in conversation. When asked a difficult question, they don't immediately respond. There's a pause. They're processing, considering multiple angles, weighing their words. This behavior shows cognitive confidence. They know that a thoughtful answer delivered after a pause is infinitely more valuable than a quick, half-formed response. In a world obsessed with instant responses, the ability to sit with silence is a superpower. The third behavior might surprise you. Intelligent people ask more questions than they answer. Socrates, one of history's greatest minds, taught entirely through questions. Why? Because questions reveal depth of thought. Anyone can memorize answers. Only intelligent people know which questions to ask. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that asking questions is associated with higher levels of intelligence and emotional awareness. But here's the deeper psychology. Asking questions shows intellectual humility. Intelligent people know the limits of their knowledge. They're aware that every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new. They understand that intelligence isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions. Intelligent people observe first and participate second. When they enter a new situation, a meeting, a social gathering, a project, they don't immediately jump in with opinions. They watch, they listen, they read the room. Neuroscience research shows this behavior activates the brain's pattern recognition systems. They're gathering data. Who holds influence? What's the unspoken dynamic? What's really being communicated beneath the surface conversation? Think of it like a chess grandmaster studying the board before making a move. They're not hesitating out of insecurity, they're strategizing. They understand that premature participation without context is often wasted energy. And when they do speak, their contribution is informed, relevant, and often cuts straight to the core issue. This patience is a sign of metacognition, thinking about thinking, one of the highest forms of intelligence. Here's a paradox. The smartest people in the room are usually not trying to prove they're smart. Einstein said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." Intelligent people communicate clearly because they have nothing to prove. They use accessible language. They don't hide behind jargon or complexity. Research from the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who frequently use complex vocabulary to appear intelligent actually score lower on cognitive ability tests. It's called the complexity bias, using big words to mask shallow understanding. Truly intelligent people are comfortable saying three